Knock, knock, it's a ghost. On October 8th, Pluto stations direct at 26 degrees of Capricorn and 7 minutes, never to return to this degree of the zodiac ever again in our lifetimes, and maybe even the next, because Pluto has an orbit of 248 years. But we're not too sad about it, because we've been working with Pluto in Capricorn since 2008. Yep, it's been there for quite a long time. And Pluto will be making its first ingress into Aquarius coming up in March of 2023. So that's just like 5 months away. It's right around the corner. So you're going to start to hear more astrologers talking about Pluto and Aquarius. I know I'm already starting to talk about it in my one-on-one sessions with other people and with my students. So we'll be talking about it here on the channel in time. But for right now, the important thing is that Pluto is stationing direct. What does that mean for us personally? I tend to notice that when Pluto stations, it tends to turn up this eeriness that can feel pretty palpable in the collective. If you're a sensitive person, if you have a lot of water in your chart, you tend to plug into the collective and you pick that up, you will feel this. Pluto tends to intensify emotions. Pluto uproots things. So if there's buried feelings, things that we've been keeping down to keep going, those feelings are going to come up. I like to think about Pluto as our psychological ghosts, things that we thought that we dealt with and things that we thought we buried, and they may come up a little bit. This will be especially true if you're having a Pluto transit in your chart. If you have planets near 26 degrees of the cardinal signs, you're in a Pluto transit. And this Pluto station is going to intensify that catalytic process of unearthing that is going on in your life. That catalytic process of unearthing and transmuting and healing. Pluto's pretty intense, I'm not going to lie, but it can be a really, really powerful experience for us when we go through it. And we don't go through too many big Pluto transits in our lives. So they are momentous when they do occur. So yeah, there's something about this Pluto station that you may connect with, you may not. It's not a promise that you'll definitely feel this one, but it does tend to intensify our feelings and our psychological musings. So if stuff is coming up for you, you can blame Pluto. You might also be able to blame the full moon. These two are sort of working in tandem here. We'll talk about that in the next video. But yeah, with the full moon bringing things into full illumination and Pluto sort of bringing up the past, showing us how far we've come, everything that we've overcome, as well as the muck that we are currently wading through. Pluto likes to remind us of those things. Pluto is the very real life shit, okay? So that will be coming up for us along this station. Another thing I want to mention is we here in the United States, we're going through our Pluto return. So we have one more exact hit of this Pluto return. With Pluto stationing direct, this means that it's coming up. We had our first one in February, I think February 21st of 2022. And then July, I want to say July 17th, 2022. Don't quote me, but it's somewhere around there. I have an article on my website if you want those deets. But the next one is on December 28th, 2022. And the degree of the exact hit is 27 degrees and 32 minutes of Capricorn. So if you've been watching the news and you live elsewhere, or if you live here in the States, it is palpable. You know, we are uprooting our garbage. We are uprooting all the things that we've buried, the things that have built this country for what it is. We're taking a look at our past. We're taking a look at the effects of colonialism, racism, sexism. We're looking at all of that. And it's all sort of rearing its ugly head now. We're looking at the things that were going on in the past that made us who we are. We're also looking at how they're showing up presently. And with Pluto, there's very often a big V for power. So we're seeing that, we're seeing that. That's why we're seeing things seemingly take a step backwards, is because people are trying to hold on to what's left of their power. Things are changing. We're in a Pluto return. You cannot fight the current. You cannot fight the change, at least not for long, because eventually it gets exhausting and the transformation wins. So we cannot keep doing what we were doing. In other words, Pluto is here to permanently transfigure the body, the political body, the country. When you think about a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, it's simply not an option for that butterfly to go back and become a caterpillar again. It's simply not an option. When you have a Pluto transit, you cannot go back to how things were beforehand. And that's what we're experiencing now. And it can take some time. I have an article on my website called The Shadow in the Mirror detailing, and I wrote this before it started, so I should probably update it a little bit. But in the article, I detail some of the previous nations who have gone through Pluto returns that have been well documented. So there's a few on there that I have highlighted. And so if you're wondering, are we going to make it out? Are things going to be better on the other side? Yes, but it will take some time and we have to show up for it. So election is November 8th. Uranus is stationing, or no, it's not a Uranus station, but there will be a lunar eclipse conjunct Uranus on that day. It's a wild card, people. Anything can happen. So we definitely, if these issues are important for you, definitely want to be showing up for them. So that's a little bit about this Pluto station and how it's going to be showing up in our personal lives. And maybe we'll see it in the world. Who knows? But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But for right now, that was your astrology shot of the day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also find me at catherineurban.com, where you can book your one-on-one consultation and get insights for your chart for the year ahead.